While the origins of humanity on Earth dates back a mere 6 million years, life on our planet stretches back much further. In this ancient past, fearsome predators roamed the Earth, each ruling their own domain. In North America, the legendary Tyrannosaurus rex reigned supreme. But across the vast expanse of prehistoric Asia, another fearsome predator dominated the land, the Tarbosaurus. To truly grasp the awe-inspiring nature of these vicious creatures, we must journey back in time, 82 million years ago, to the Late Cretaceous period. So join us as we dive into the world of the Tarbosaurus and discover how this alarming lizard carved out its place as one of the most dominant predators in Earth's history. Turning back the clock millions and millions of years ago, we explore what is known today as the Asian continent. However, it looks very different from the one we know. Back then, Japan, Korea, and Thailand were all part of the same land. These countries would remain there until about 15 million years ago. As a result, the Asian continent was a vast land with ideal conditions for prehistoric animals. A massive lake lies in the area now known as Korea. It stretches out into smaller lakes that spread over the land like veins. It is a beautiful supply of fresh water for the animals that call the area home. The comfortable temperature and rich plant life make this area the perfect place for dinosaurs of all types to roam freely. Known as the Cretaceous period, this is an era when dinosaurs covered most of the space we now call Korea. Many herbivores thrive on the lush greenery that surrounds them, including the Dreadnoughtus, the Centrosaurus, and the Avaceratops. Many omnivorous dinosaurs flourish amongst the vast selection of plants and dinosaurs. These omnivores include the Oviraptor, the Therizinosaurus, and the Gallimimus. Naturally, these magnificent creatures bump heads from time to time, but nothing can prepare them for the devastating effects of the Tarbosaurus. It is a crisp morning in early spring, and the leaves are covered in dew. A young Abelisaurus is on the hunt, hoping to find something to munch on before returning to its mother. It is a curious animal that will grow to be a speedy and intelligent hunter. A small theropod, the Sitipati, sits drinking water at a waterhole peacefully, unaware of the baby Abelisaurus approaching. A glorious pterodactyl glides in the sky above. The morning is a peaceful scene that will soon become disrupted by chaos. Small vibrations can be felt, conveying a word of warning. Something significant is approaching. Our baby Abelisaurus abandons its plan to take down the Sitipati that is also preparing itself to flee. Branches begin to snap as the Tarbosaurus continues to make its way through the greenery. It leaves destruction in its wake as trees bend and bushes are flattened. It is hungry and on the hunt. At first glance, the Tarbosaurus might seem to be a Tyrannosaurus rex. Both species are large in size, with solid legs and tails and tiny arms. However, there are two distinct differences between these two carnivorous beasts. Firstly, the Tyrannosaurus rex is an apex predator that lives in North America, whereas the Tarbosaurus can only be found in Asia. In addition, the T-Rex is slightly bigger in size, but not by much. Since both of these incredible dinosaurs are part of the Tyrannosauridae family, they are related, distant cousins from over the oceans. In recent studies, scientists have confirmed that the Tarbosaurus also differed from the Tyrannosaurus rex because it had scales and feathers. The combination of scales and feathers will be helpful to keep the Tarbosaurus warm, thanks to the added insulation. Weighing up to 4 or 5 tons and reaching up to 40 feet, this dinosaur is a beast of an animal. Also known as the almighty lizard, the Tarbosaurus is recognizable by its strong jaws and sharp teeth, dinosaurs that fail to be alert when the Tarbosaurus is around, will suffer because of its incredible agility. In fact, this dinosaur can cover speeds of 30 miles per hour if it is tempted by delectable prey. With an animal like the Tarbosaurus lurking in this prehistoric world, true peace can never exist. For animals trying to steer clear of the Tarbosaurus, the idea of facing a group of these monstrous creatures would be terrifying. True to most large apex predators of the prehistoric era, the Tarbosaurus enjoys hunting and living in groups. When these groups of insatiable hunters becomes fixated on their prey, they coordinate their effort to catch their prey. However, this Tarbosaurus continues on its search for food alone. In the distance, it sees a pair of feathery gallimimus, and it is ready to go for the kill. Starting out slowly, the Tarbosaurus approaches with care until it is inevitable that it can complete its mission, and it speeds up, causing leaves and branches to fall in its path. After having appeased its hunger, the Tarbosaurus returns to its home, walking to a secluded, forest-covered area. It walks past a female Tarbosaurus that watches it restlessly. Her eggs are located in a circular area next to well-drained soil. She has covered it with some vegetation, but the fear remains that her offspring wouldn't survive long enough to hatch. Her babies can take up to 6 months to develop fully, so she has a period of protective duty ahead of her. Once born, her offspring will only need her for a short time due to how rapidly the Tarbosaurus grows in size. She will guide them as they grow, teaching them everything she knows to give them the best odds of being primitive hunters. But until they are ready, she will hunt and feed them pieces of meat or prey that she manages to catch. She, too, is an excellent hunter, especially when she is driven by the need to feed her young ones. Before long, they will venture out without her, becoming independent, and she might never see them again. Lucky for our female Tarbosaurus, our male has just eaten, so he walks by without paying her much attention. He has a bigger, more pressing goal. Ahead of him stands another Tarbosaurus, threatening his territory. Our brave and voracious Tarbosaurus can't allow that. He understands that it will be a fight to the death. Their eyes lock, and these two large carnivores begin their fight. The fact that their arms are short complicates matters, but their strong tails that can break bones with a single swing help inflict some major blows. Their strong heads bump loudly, and they roar in anger. They begin to snap at each other, breaking skin and scales and drawing blood. The fight is violent, loud, and disruptive, causing dinosaurs in the area to be on alert. Within a few minutes, our Tarbosaurus feels exhausted. He is bleeding and limping now. The battle was more challenging than he imagined. He needs to retreat if he plans to survive this territorial face-off. Roaring in frustration, he retreats, but his opponent steps forward, hitting him with his hard skull once again. Perhaps he will find others to help him take down the newcomer. But for now, he is parched and tired. He drinks big gulps of water before returning past the mother-to-be, who still waits anxiously. He walks until the forest around him is quiet and peaceful. In fact, here, it is only him that disturbs the peace. He finds a soft patch of land and lays his tired, injured body down. He begins to drift off into a deep slumber. Tomorrow will be a new day for this creature, but for now, he is getting much-needed rest. Here, in the area now known as Korea, the forest finally comes to rest. But of course we know it won't last long.